the shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino spot.
Gino spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Gino Spot, where every Tuesday we have a different PE person or an Eastern Cape person in the studio every single Tuesday, relentlessly. And today's no exception. We are at 6:30. Make sure that you subscribe to YouTube if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, you're only getting half the picture here, because YouTube is much better, and it also reminds you when you can see another episode, which will be every single Tuesday, 6:30, like clockwork. And thank you to our sponsors. We got our sponsors are Fitch and Leeds behind me here, and also Amobia, which is our internet service provider, as well as Grace from Fat Cats, who sometimes brings us food, and sometimes if she's busy, then she's otherwise she sometimes brings when we don't even have a show. So Grace, thank you, Grace. We love you, and she's your Fat Cats Catering. We always see her at the gigs, and tonight we have Francarlo on the show, Micilotta. We are fantastic to have you on, Francarlo. We're going to have a little intro for you as well. We've got a little introduction, we do a little introduction because we're going to get straight into it. We're not going to waste your time any longer. Make sure that you tag your friend.
Ooh, welcome to the show. Now it's your turn to shine. We're gonna have a like a chat tonight. Another good time.
And there we go. There's a lovely little intro.
Yes.
Welcome to the show,
Thank
Francarlo.
you. Cheers.
Known Francarlo for many years. From when I was a student. Still, I was working at Pop Shop.
Yes.
In Westbourne
Rd.
Westbourne Rd.
Those are good old days.
It was. And
Yes.
and I remember that road so clearly, and because I'm a bit of a nostalgic person.
Yes,
I love
so
it.
am I, actually.
Yes. Maybe it's an Italian thing. I don't know.
Maybe it is.
I think
there's
so.
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no. And you know, there's some. I see there's some people online already. Christopher Stevens saying top tier jacket. Thank you very much, Christopher. I like it too. It's my pineapple jacket, this, because I always think it's the Eastern Cape with Bathurst.
Okay.
Bathurst with the pineapples, you know. But the Westbourne Road at the time was just lovely.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, with Niels across the road.
Niels,
And Blaze.
Duet was all
Yes.
Sean Payton and the guys were at Duet. I remember that, and of course Upton's is still there. I think
Upton's still there. Yes.
Barry, is it Barry?
Yes. Running it.
Barry's running it now. I remember he was like flying around in his red BMW at the time with the drop top.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Couldn't miss him.
No, he was.
Keith Johns is still there.
Keith John's still there as well. They're
I
fantastic.
saw across the road the other day in Westbourne Road.
Oh, lovely.
But I don't think he's on the same premises as when he was there.
They move up and down, the
Yes,
guys. Because Offbeat is also still there, which is the sort of the offshoot of Pop Shop.
Ah, yes.
With Alan.
Yes,
If you remember Alan and Sean.
Yes, I remember Ellen and Sean.
Alan
That's a long time ago.
It is. It's 20 years.
Yeah.
It's 20 years ago, which is just crazy to think. And I mean, I think Pop Shop stopped in the early 98 or 99, I think.
I was in Westbourne Road for about 18 years.
Wow. When did you start in Westbourne Road?
I think it was 1984.
84.
Around there.
Yeah.
Before I was in Standard Building at the bottom of Russell Road.
Russell Road.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Russell
in Main
Road.
Street or?
Main Street.
Yeah,
Where
wow.
Govan Becky now.
Yeah, of course.
I actually started in across Donkin Street.
Mm-hmm.
There was Absa Bank.
Okay, at the in Main Street.
It was actually Allied Building Society in those days.
Allied
Yes.
Building Society. The
And I was
Building
there-
Society, they used to
I
call
was
it.
there for about a year or so, a year lease in a
Okay.
little office on the first floor
Okay.
in 1970. And then I moved to big premises on the 5th floor of the Standard Bank building.
Okay.
I took about 4 offices.
Yeah.
And 5 years later, I moved down to the mezzanine floor,
Okay.
took the whole floor
Yo.
because I had about 18 people working with me
Gee
in
whiz.
those days. I was crazy.
Holy moly. How do you
was
take on
crazy.
that? Well, we're going to get to this because this already sounds crazy. And I mean, obviously, Francarlo, the jewelers, you've now got the shop in Walmer Park. Is that right?
No.
No, it's in Walmer now. It's in Walmer. 13th
We'll
Avenue.
get to that. We'll get
13th
to that.
Avenue now.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
You're not up with the times.
I read times, but we need to, I think for people that don't know who Francarlo is, he's the founder of Francarlo Jewelers,
Yes.
which is has been a PE name, and we've been all over town. We'll follow the route.
Yes,
Skilled jewelers, and of course Italian, which makes my heart very nice.
Italiano.
You see. Okay, so let's go back because we're really talking about the history here. Oh, let's a quick look at the people saying hello online. Need to up Francarlo's sound. Okay, we can do that. We'll up the sound. Let's just if you lift the it's Kavia. Let me do a quick one here. I'm gonna lift your sound up here while I'm here. Let's see there, and we can lift. Give me a 1 2 there, Francarlo.
1 2.
1 2 1 2. There we go, and we'll just lift it over there. How's that?
Okay, is that better? Because I don't speak very loudly.
No,
I'm
it's
afraid.
fine. It's fine. We
I'm
got the
quite
microphone there.
soft spoken.
I'm obviously louder than you.
Yeah,
so
you
just
are.
Move mine down.
But that's all right.
Haley,
I
how's
see
it
there
going?
is Carol Jackson there.
Tanya Slabbert is there. That's your daughter.
Yes.
That's your
Yes.
fruit of your loins.
Yes.
as it were.
Yes.
And then who else is Carol
Gary.
Jacobs? Yes, Carol Jacobs is in East London. She's in East London. You never had an East London branch, did you?
No.
It was Dennis Collins up there.
Danny Collins, yes.
Do you know them well?
Very well.
Yes.
Yeah, good friends of mine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the whole family.
I like to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You can take it down a little bit. Then yeah. Flip it down. It comes down to match the other one. There we go. That'll be all right. Okay. There we go. Oh dear.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes.
And thank you for the spectators who are
Yes. You're having a
going
look
to
there.
be patient for the next little
Oh,
while.
wow.
And thank you for having me on the show.
I've been talking to you a while about it.
Yes, you have.
I
Yeah,
did.
but I didn't know how serious you were because, being the way you are,
Yes. Of course.
you don't know how serious you are half of the time.
I know. No, I had to get you on because
Yes.
I've been doing these interviews with people across town and also from East London, from Queenstown, from
Yes, from
Eastern
the
Cape.
area, Eastern Cape.
And
Yeah.
I've tried to keep the show with the Eastern Cape,
Yeah.
and they are marvelous people here in this
Yes.
town,
Yeah.
and everybody's got their niche that they do, the speciality.
But everybody knows, not only as a comedian, you're a very good drummer,
Yes, of course.
singer.
Yes.
I mean, you sing very nicely, and you're part of our culture, really.
Yeah.
You're part of PE. PE wouldn't be the same without Gino Fabri.
I hope not, but I think it's like a case of like everybody knows the comedian, and therefore I can connect people.
Yes, yes,
I find it
yes.
easier to connect people.
Yeah,
And-
you make people feel quite at home.
I hope so. And it's, I mean, and in the same way, when you're running a business, you have to get your name out there. You
Yes.
have to get your
Yes.
your brand out. Because
Yeah.
the more people that know about it, the more people will have it in their heads and say, when they think about jewelry or when they think about the wedding ring or they think about something, they'll think, oh well, Francarlo.
Yes. Well, the best way of advertising actually by word of mouth that we know, especially if you are in a profession where you need to be trusted,
Yeah.
like a doctor or dentist, we're not in the same industry, but
Yeah.
you don't change your doctor or your jeweler just because, so
Yeah, that's also
you have to build up a trust over time, and the only way you can build your trust is to show your trust and to earn it,
yeah.
and that takes time.
Yeah.
So I actually very thankful of the people who supported me when I was 20 years old. Because can you imagine giving your 1 carat diamond to a youngster who just passed the teenager's years,
Yes.
and you entrusting him with your most valuable possession beside your house,
Yes.
because your diamond ring can be worth more than your car.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm really very thankful to the whole city and the whole Eastern Cape, because I've had customers from from overseas as well, mainly from expats who have moved out,
Okay.
and even some people from Australia, which I never met before, through Tanya, through emailing up and down and designing, we made beautiful rings for them, and every time they come to Port Elizabeth, they order
Lovely.
3-4 months before the time,
Okay.
and they're all done through correspondence,
Yeah.
through internet. So
A different world. It's a different world we
different
live in
world,
now,
yes.
as opposed
Yes.
to then. And so I'm interested to hear how it got started. You were born in Italy then?
Yes, I was born in Italy,
Whereabouts?
in a little village near Turin. Well, near about 50 kilometers from Turin,
Milano.
on the way down to Genova.
Okay.
To Genoa,
Genoa.
yeah.
Okay.
Near the Apennines Mountains,
Yes.
near Alessandria, near Savigliano, the place Marene. It's a little village of used to be only farmers.
Okay.
Less than 1,000 people in total in those days. I think now there are about 1,500 people, because young people don't really stay in little villages.
Yeah.
And most of the people there, if they're not farmers, they went to work to Fiat.
Okay.
But
Of course,
so they would
Torino.
catch the train to Torino, where they made
Making Philippa's Fiat 500 there. She's
the Fiat. Well, they make now
Alfa Romeo.
everything. They make Lancia. They make
Ferrari.
They make everything. So
Yes. Turin is a big
Turin,
motor town.
motor town. Yeah. So the youngsters, if they didn't want to do farming, they went to work for Fiat.
Okay.
So they would catch the train at 6 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and come back in the evening. Okay. And I left there. Well, my late father was a shoemaker.
Shoemaker.
Yes. So I didn't follow the family tradition at all.
Well, Fabri means blacksmith, isn't it?
Fabri.
Too.
Yeah.
Fabro.
Yes, Fabri is more than one. Fabro.
Yes.
So
Two at least. Fabri is blacksmiths.
Two blacksmiths, yeah. And so my late father had a little business where I was born, and used to make handmade shoes for the farmers, because farmers, they didn't have helpers.
Yeah.
The farmers, the owners, would work in the fields with their wives and their children.
Okay.
And maybe one helper when it was time for harvesting or something like that.
Okay.
But otherwise, so the feet were really in bad condition.
Yeah.
So my father used to make lasts in wood to match the foot, and he would make shoes with the bunions, for the bunions and the deformed feet from scratch.
So he'd have to make almost special shoes.
Yes, he made special
for
shoes.
well.
Yes, mainly.
Wow.
Yes. He also made lady shoes, but and of course he did a lot of resoling and rehealing.
But it's skilled.
Very skilled. So he actually made. I should have brought it. He made a stiletto shoe the size of a matchbox. Actually, can fit inside a matchbox. And he made the last out of a broomstick.
You know, isn't this the old Italians?
Yes.
They'll do stuff like that.
Yes.
My nonno too.
Yeah.
Made these beautiful airplanes out of
Yes.
copper.
Yes,
You know?
really.
I've still got
Yes.
copper, the metal, not the
Yes. Yes.
not the peach,
Yes.
as he used to say.
Yes.
Peach. But no, so such beautiful. It's almost like an art. But
And
that's an
the
Italian-
craftsmanship, and nobody taught him how
Yeah.
to make a shoe that small.
Yeah.
So he obviously had a very artistic vein in him.
Yeah.
And he was very ambitious. After the war, he was a sailor, and he survived the war. I was born just after the war.
Okay.
My sister was born in 1945, my late sister. And
Yeah, 45 was the last. It ended in 45.
yeah, 44, 45.
Yeah.
So he left Sicily because he was Sicilian.
Okay. Wow.
He left Sicily.
Like the
and,
Angeleris.
yeah, like the Gilleries. And I was born in near Turin, like I said.
Yes.
And we were only there for, I was only there for 7 years.
Okay.
And we moved to Valenza
Okay.
because it was big opportunity for him.
Yeah.
Valenza was known for two reasons: for his for the jewelry industry
Yes.
and for the shoe industry. So there were big exporters of shoes in Valenza. It is no longer so, unfortunately.
Okay.
And Valenza went into, Valenza is known as the gold city of the north of Italy. Florence is the capital of
Yes.
of gold in the central of Italy, but
So
in the
golden
north of
leather,
Italy,
I seem to remember.
yeah. But Valenza is known for its craftsmanship all over the world. In fact, more than 90% of jewelry made for Tiffany and Bulgaria actually has over 1,000 people working there for them.
Wow.
And so Tiffany, Cartier, they have a lot of people who work for Cartier. So the highly skilled town. So I was very fortunate that when I finished my schooling, I took jewelry as my career
Wow.
because I could.
These companies, I've in my mind, I've never thought of it as jewelry companies. Like Cartier would do jewelry, but I was thinking of it as fashion or like almost like a school of design, I suppose.
Well, yes, there is a Benvenuto Cellini school in Valenza.
Yeah.
And I did that while I was
Cellini.
working. Cellini, yeah.
Cellini, okay.
So I, after I finished my high school, I went to do an apprenticeship and a technical school. It's a combined formula where you do so many hours at school and most of the time on the bench. So I was on the bench at the age of 15.
You're just working.
Yeah, working at the age of 15. And I came here at the age of 20, so I was fully qualified.
Wow.
I have the papers to prove it.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful of the way I was given the opportunity
Yeah.
to learn from big company. It was a very well-known company, it still is, Moroglione, that was founded by three brothers. And I was invited by a friend of mine to join. And Aldo Bernardotti is his name.
Okay.
We were school friends from
Good name.
Standard 2.
Aldo Benedotti.
Aldo Bernardotti, yeah.
Bernardotti.
And so he said to me, why don't you come and talk to my boss? Because they're looking for apprentices.
Okay.
And so I went. I started somewhere else for a year. And that was the best thing I ever did because I was coached by a master jeweler
Yes.
who was in semi-retirement. And I did mainly Victorian type of jewelry took on commission.
Yes.
So for big companies in Italy. And because I was an apprentice, I wasn't really pushed for time. So I could take my time to do the finer work where
Not as much pressure, maybe.
not so much pressure. Yeah. So that was wonderful.
Wow.
And of course, when you start your own business, then the pressure's on.
Well, was Aldo then your mentor, basically?
No. He was working there already as a diamond setter, also apprenticed. We went to school together.
Oh, I see. Okay, so of course.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, he's
I
the
mean,
same age.
we were same age.
Who was the
Yeah.
Who was the guy that you studied or studied under there?
Gallini was his name, but the company is Moroglione, which is they're still going. They actually comes
So
to
he was
South
ready
Africa.
to
We buy
retire.
from a He was ready to retire. Yes.
Okay.
And he taught me everything I know.
Wow, that's so lucky, actually.
Very lucky. Very
somebody-
blessed.
And he was
Very
obviously a nice person.
Was a very nice person. I was sitting right next to him.
Yeah.
So I pinched with my eyes, so to speak.
Of course.
And I learned a lot from him, and he guided me immensely.
Oh, that's great.
So
I think it's so nice to have somebody like that can lead you into this thing. And
yes.
I mean, so 15, 16, that's young to get
Young,
started.
yeah.
Very young.
With the schooling, but
Yeah.
most of the time was in the studio.
And you're getting
There were
your-
about 12 people in total. There wasn't a big workshop.
Because you think about, they always talk about the 10,000 hours that you need to put in to get started, to get your skill up to,
Well,
Probably
probably you're right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't count the hours.
allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah. We only worked for special orders, which was something that it helped me later in life.
Yes.
It wasn't a mass production because Valencia, the little town, in those days had 25,000 people during the night and about 45 to 50,000 people during the day. Because from the surroundings, no,
Coming to buy in.
no. The surrounding villages would come to work in Valencia. So they
I
didn't
see.
stay in Valencia.
Okay.
They lived nearby. So they would drive or come by train every morning and go back every
I think
night.
it works the same now.
Yeah.
There
There were 2,500 little family workshops in those days. Now they're down to less than 500, but they're big companies like
Big ones.
Tiffany, and
Okay.
they've taken over a lot of the little factories and they made them
Bought them out, I
major,
suppose.
and major factories.
I mean, they've got to do the scaling. So they scale it up and they scale it up. And
Yeah, but there are a lot of family businesses who work on commission to the big companies like Cartier, and they're not supposed to really say it, but when you see them, the work that they do for big companies, they can't really advertise it because it's made by Cartier.
Of course. It's always Cartier, but it would be the family.
But they subcontract,
It's so-
like in everything.
So
else.
people in the know-
they probably have their own factories.
Yeah.
But some of the work, like anybody, I just said that name. Maybe I shouldn't say it. But a lot of big names, they subcontract certain work to certain people.
Sure. No, but isn't that? I mean, that's a good thing. If you think about it, people in the know would know then where, if you buying Cartier, but you would buy it because you want that family to work on it.
Yes.
So they contracted in.
But Cartier and Tiffany's and the big names, they have very high demands on quality. So it's very nice to know that Valencia can produce that.
Yes.
But there's a lot of pressure also because if the diamonds are not set properly, they get set back. The quality control is really 200% right. 100% is not enough.
Right. Okay.
So,
Gee whiz.
Valencia is the place to be if you want to work in fine jewelry. Yes.
I mean, I know we're going to have a look at the comments now as well, but I remember from school, being taught that our gold in South Africa always goes overseas to Italy to get worked, and then comes back at like 3 times the price, 20 times the price.
Well, it's there's a lot in it. You know,
Yeah.
there are expensive machineries, artisans.
But you get to know it because now that you say that, because gold is an investment, just like diamonds, and it's who makes it, and it's almost like art. It's like you'll buy a Jackson Pollock. It's, you know, it looks like you just thrown things splattered thing, but it's a Jackson Pollock, and therefore it is worth so and so. You know.
Well, you're right with what you say, but I think to today's way of seeing gold jewelry is much different from those days.
Yeah.
You know, people have the desire of jewelry, but don't always have the money to match what they desire.
Yes, of
So
course.
they have the want,
Yes.
but the finance behind it is not quite, doesn't quite match.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's have a quick look at some of these comments here, Phil. And it says, still wearing the ring we purchased from you many moons ago. This is Elmarie Sampson. He's,
Hello. Hello, Elmarie.
Garth Sampson is our weather guru. He's the weatherman.
Okay.
And he says, hello. Evening. He says, hello. There he is there as well. They're both watching. And he says she's still got the same one. And I think he's still in Ring Street. No, he's moved from Ring Street now.
We're still in Ring Street.
They were still in
yeah.
Ring Street. Became a prized possession of mine after passing his mom's one. Fantastic.
Hello.
Haley Marie says, respected entrepreneur in Port Elizabeth. Absolutely, Haley.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Tiano's Dalman's Xenios.
Yes.
Icon of the world of jewelry. You're right. That's why I got him on.
Thank you. Very kind. You're very kind. Thank you.
And bought my engagement ring and wedding bands from Francarlo in
1991.
Yeah. Amber.
Yeah, wonderful.
Can you
Amber.
believe it? I know.
Yes.
Sean Pauls.
Man Francarlo. John Bosworth.
and
Les Stephen Watson.
Okay. Worked at the bridge in the early 90s. I managed. You managed Rhythms. Of course you did. Rhythm City. And I'm sure you know Dave Bandana as well. Tell me where Dave Bandana is.
I didn't realize that Stephen passed on.
Oh, really? Oh, shame. Okay. Lynn DeVitt says, great jewelers. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn.
And then I see that tagging people here, Melissa from Mark. A PE legend, Donay says.
So that shows how old I am.
Exactly. I studied there too, also after hours. Tanya Slabbert.
Yes.
Of course you did. Oh, no. Munin.
A wonderful boss.
A wonderful boss.
Hello, Munin.
Is it Munin?
Yes, Munin.
Oh, I remember Munin. Absolutely, I do.
Yes.
I've got 34 years.
Yes, like I was telling you, a lot of people work for me for over 30 years.
Wow. It's incredible.
Over 30 years.
That says a lot about you.
Well, yeah.
It really does. If they can
put up with me for that long,
I
couldn't have been that bad.
I'm having some more wine as well. We stock Morello Nesuni in our shop. Excellent. The proper from Italia.
Yeah. From Valencia.
From Valencia. Very, very good. Tanya is still the same. Yes, absolutely. Best jewelry ever, Viv Jacobs.
Thank you. Thank you, Viv.
Viv used to play tennis with us as well. This was Viv and Arthur.
Yes, Viv Arthur.
Yeah.
Yes.
Artie.
Yes.
Brian Wilkinson.
Very nice lady. And
Brian used to be down at the boardwalk. Interesting chat tonight about Francarlo's background. I know. See, nobody knows this stuff. That's why I get you on. You check. You too. I see Gary's got some questions here. Your daughter, the most unusual jewelry piece that you did, or the most meaningful, or the most challenging. I mean, anything interesting that you worked on?
Well, interesting and challenging. It's can be quite different. I was commissioned to do something as silly as it seems.
Yeah.
a cigarette box.
A cigarette box.
A 20 cigarette box for 20 cigarettes. No, like the one
Yes,
say
you
brands.
open it up.
You open it up in 9-carat gold. Now, when I came here, Solly Palmer, the late Solly Palmer, got me a job with Joseph Ritter, a wonderful
Solly Palmer. I don't know that.
Solly Palmer.
Yeah, I said Solly Kramers. I know that.
No, Palmer.
Palmer, yeah.
Palmer.
Okay.
Yeah, the grandchildren are here, live in Port Elizabeth, I think. Alan was the nephew.
Okay.
So my late father worked for them.
Okay.
And that's how he got his
Solly
first job. Solly and they had 2 brothers.
Yeah.
One was in Johannesburg and one here. I don't remember their names.
Okay.
And so they got the whole family. Our family came down because of Solly Palmer. He managed to get a work permit for my father.
Wow.
And
So your father came out as well?
My father came down in 67.
Okay.
In 1967. And so Solly Palmer was a customer of Joseph Ritter.
Okay.
And he got me a job there.
At Ritter's?
At Ritter's.
Oh, my word.
And he was the most wonderful boss, wonderful man. He passed away last year, sadly, in the States at the age of 93 or 92, 93.
Yeah. Wow.
And I made a box in 9-carat gold, a full size for 20 cigarettes. And it was in 9-carat gold, which for me was very strange because in Italy we only worked in 18-carat gold. So for us, 9-carat wasn't really gold because 9-carat has 37.5% of gold, so less than 50%. And 18-carat has 75% of fine gold. So, which is double the price, and it's also heavier, so it becomes like 3 times the price. That's why these days we make a lot of the jewelry, even diamond jewelry, in 9-carat because it's just much more affordable.
Also,
so we have a lot of respect. We have a lot of respect for 9-carat because if it wasn't for 9-carat, we wouldn't be able to do most of the jobs these days. Because people just look for affordability and but still have quality. So we have a lot of respect for 9-carat.
And it's also it's harder.
Yes. Well, the red one, the red and the yellow gold is harder than 18-carat.
Okay, yes. Because I remember for this one, I think I can't remember, it was 18, the first one, but the second
is 9.
Is 9 now, must be 9, because it's harder and more hard wearing.
Yes.
But how does that whole carat system work? I mean,
well, it's actually not that difficult. Pure gold is, you will see on gold bars, pictures of gold bars. I actually never had one. A gold bar has,
I always imagine
1 kilograms gold bar costs not 1 arm and 2 legs, 10 arms and 10 legs. It's 99.99999 because there's always that
little
0.1 that might not be pure.
Dust.
And so let's call it 1,000, 100%.
100%,
And 18-carat is 18. So pure gold is also 24-carat.
Okay, 24,
24. Okay. So 18 is 18 24ths. So
you divide
75%.
Okay.
So it's 3/4 of 24 is 18.
Open my mind to this now. Now I realize what it's all about.
18-carat is half of that, is double than 9-carat.
Yes,
and 9 is half of 18. But in America, they make 8 carats a lot. 8. Okay. In Germany, they make 10 carats.
Okay.
And some people even start to do 5 carats.
Oh, okay.
To make heavy jewelry, bangles about an inch wide in 5 carat.
For the gangsters.
Well, for the ladies who want to show off but don't have the money to spend on the real thing.
Oh, that's funny. That's very good. But now, how did you? So you got to South Africa when you were 20.
20.
So
yeah.
you had about 5 years that you were working on in Italy.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
As an apprentice, yeah.
And you
and
came,
schooling, yeah.
Yeah. So your dad had did his shoes and his things here? What did was your dad doing here?
Yeah. Well, he worked for Medical Shoes, and they actually made a different department for his shoes, and they used to call his shoes Salvatore shoes. So Salvatore shoes, they were moccasins that he taught the South Africans workers to make because they couldn't make them in those days.
Okay.
So they were specializing in moccasins.
Yes.
And my father taught each and every one in the factory. And the section of the factory, it was a department especially for those shoes.
Where was the factory?
In North End,
North End.
where there is the horse on the wall.
Yes, corner house.
Yes.
Was it corner house?
Corner house? Behind there.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
That is so good because there was a power station down there. I don't know if the guys will remember online.
No, that's further down. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
further up. I think
Further up,
where the bowling club was. Yeah. Oh, there's a question about his dad. What lessons from your father or mentor did you try to pass on to the others?
Well, my father was a great person.
Yeah.
He had chutzpah. He had guts.
Yeah, chutzpah. Yeah.
He left his little town
Yeah.
for unknown territory. First to where I was born,
Yeah.
then to Valencia, and then to South Africa. And if it wasn't for his vision, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have had my children here. I wouldn't have my Tanya here, and my son, and the grandchildren, and my beautiful wife. So
It's crazy.
it's because of him that we're here.
Do you think there was because I mean my nono came out in 1953 with Sappi. A lot of Italian people came out around that time.
Yes.
Must have been something that made it easy for the Italians to come out to South Africa. I don't know what
Well,
it was.
I think most of the Italians who came here, like my wife, Simone, her surname was Tassan. So Tony Tassan, who was a builder,
Okay.
and he was with Otello Leuteri, Jonant. I think the Italian community will remember that.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And most of them actually were prisoners of war
Yes.
and ended up in Zonderwater in Pretoria.
Okay.
And at the end of the war, they still kept them captive.
Yeah.
And they were working in farms. And a lot of them came down here to the fig tree farm. And they were working for, I think, over a year.
The Lovemores,
2 years.
so
Yes.
must be, eh?
Yes. So
Wow.
90% of them stayed behind because they saw the opportunity. In Italy, it was the war, half of Italy was destroyed by
I
the
think
Germans and by the Allies.
Probably a big
So-
reason why people came out here
Yes.
as well.
So there were people who came here before from Biella. I think the Scribantis were here before.
Yeah.
And the Cicconinis.
And of course, when the war broke out, they had to go be prisoners of war as well. They couldn't. Or they were. I don't know.
I think some of them were. Some of them were prisoners of war.
It's interesting to think because I was talking to somebody today who's an Afrikaans school whose name was Carla. It's a couple of days ago. And I just said when the prisoners of war were working on the farms here from Italy,
Yes.
and all the men were away fighting, up on the in Europe. Then of course a lot of children came from the.
But
Afrikaans
it was a tough life from the stories that Tony Tassan used to tell us. It wasn't. It wasn't walk in the park.
No.
Being prisoner of war.
For sure.
Because there were restrictions, food.
Yeah.
It was tough.
It's tough, yeah.
It was tough.
And so you moved here 20 years old,
Yes.
and then you got a job with Ritters.
Yes. I worked there for 1 year.
1 year, okay.
And I saw the opportunity. There were few jewelers who did commission work. There were mainly shops like Stearns, Caress.
So they were still around there, the Stearns. And
Yes,
they were
still there. And there was Joseph Ritter, who was very well known already, very well established.
Yes.
His work was wonderful.
Okay.
His nephew Matthias still has a business here.
Yes. It's also in Walmer Park.
No, he's in Newton Park.
Newton Park.
Central Cape Road.
Cape Road, okay. Ritters. Yeah.
Rinco, actually.
Rinco.
Yeah.
Rinco.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I worked for Matthias, actually, under him, because he was the manager.
Yeah.
And a wonderful person as well. Mm-hmm. And then I saw the opportunity. One of his clients actually approached me and said, "Look, if you go for if you think of going on your own, I can support you.
Wow.
Give you work."
Okay.
So I thought, well, when I came here, I only knew 3 words because I did French in my high school, not English. It wasn't an option actually in those days.
Yeah.
So I knew yes, no, and stop.
Basta.
That's all. So
Yes,
I went
stop. Stop and no.
Yes, no, stop.
That's funny.
And so I went to enroll for JC certificate at technical school on top of Russell Road.
Yes.
I enrolled for geography, English, and geography.
Wow.
Just to learn the language.
Yeah.
Because I could follow the geography book was easy to follow because it was written. I didn't know how to pronounce the words, but the teacher was pronouncing it. So I could get you pronunciation from there.
Sure.
And bookkeeping, I thought it was relevant if I want to start a new business.
Yes.
And
Gee, was
and
in English. So you had to learn these things in English as well.
And yes, and in those days also there were no grams. It wasn't on a decimal on kilograms. It was pounds.
Pounds and ounces.
And ounces and penny weights and
Jeez.
so 12 penny weights.
What's a penny weight?
Is a section of an ounce. A troy ounce. A troy ounce is 31,115 grams, where a food ounce is 28 grams.
No, this is bloody British.
So the gold register to be filled in ounces, in troy ounces.
Yes, I'm sure.
Which is different from the normal ounce.
So you're a proper weight specialist.
Weight specialist, yeah. And in those days, we didn't have electronic scales. We had the little balance with 2 little weights, like you see. Justice for all.
Yes.
Yeah, one of those balances.
Libra.
Yeah. So I used to put the penny weight there and the gold there and wait until the needle went to the center. To the middle. And that was the weight.
Moly.
And no calculators. Calculators came out. So everything it was times divided by 12, not divided by 10. It's like inches and an eighth of an inch or quarter of an inch.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing was in decimal form.
Jeez, and it was also obviously pounds and pence and
things
pence, as well until the decimal. Yeah. What's it? Decimal Dan Ron cent man.
Yes.
Came through. But that's, I mean, look, in 1960s, I mean, it's true. It was still there.
Well, I remember the conversion of the money, the exchange rate was $1.20 for 1 rand.
Wow!
Not 1 rand 20.
We could handle
$1.20 for 1 rand.
Imagine if it was the case.
And gold was $28 per ounce, per troy ounce, which was 31 rand. 32 rand.
31 rand. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's crazy.
So I wish I had a couple of those these
Couple
days.
of those. He could have had an ingot. He could have. So, looking back over 50 years, what are you most proud of your career in your life?
Proud of my career is being always the support that I had from my staff.
Yeah.
Well, let's start from my family first,
Yeah.
because my family was very supportive from very beginning. I had to work until 10, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Go home, get up early. My parents supported me financially
Okay.
in the beginning.
Beginning.
I did get a 2,000 rand overdraft. In those days was
That's a lot of money then,
bank
again.
manager was paid 200 rand a month,
Yo.
so that was 10 months of a bank manager's pay. So it was a lot of money.
That's a lot of. How did you manage
And-
to get that right?
Well,
Good question.
one of Joseph Ritter clients guaranteed for me.
No
Yes.
way. Wow.
Dave Bloom was his name.
Dave Bloom.
Yeah.
Well, Dave.
Yeah. Dave Bloom.
He must be gone by now.
Yes, he's gone.
Yeah.
Shame.
Has he got family? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh,
no.
Shame, man. Oh, that's amazing.
And,
what did he
so-
do that he was able to do that?
Well, he wanted me to share his office.
Oh.
So I started like that. So I didn't I paid only half of the rent.
Okay.
So for about a year, I was under his wing, so to speak.
Okay. Was he also a jeweler, or was he?
He was a jeweler, yes. Well, a jeweler. He was a trader, a jewelry trader,
okay.
a wholesaler type of thing. But he used to deal with orders. So I used to deal with his customers,
They give him
make the
commissions
orders,
on doing
commissions, and
things.
I remember to answer the question of the same question.
Yeah.
Something that I remember, one of my first jobs that I had to do was to make the Springbok for Joseph Ritter, a brooch,
Okay.
a Strelitzia brooch,
Strelitzia.
and a Protea brooch.
Okay.
Now, the Protea brooch is being sold still today by the nephew of Joseph Ritter,
Okay.
and the Springbok,
Wow.
that I made when I was 20.
Gee
So
whiz.
the Springbok is the same Springbok that you see at the back of the Kruger Rand,
Okay.
just in a 3D form.
Okay.
And it's about this big. I would say about 35 millimeters long.
So you designed that then?
Well, I picked the design from the coin,
Yeah, but then
but I made it.
you made it then.
And then they made a
still-
mold out of it. And they repeat the mold still to these days. They put a little diamond or little ruby
Still
on the eye.
Your mold.
Still, and one of my best moments when I went to Cape Town many years later, maybe only 15 years ago, and I saw in Charles Gregg window my Springbok,
Wow.
my gold Springbok, and
You
that
know,
really made me very proud.
You can know when you see
Very
it, you know
proud.
it as well.
I know, yeah.
And then
yeah,
Ritters actually
yeah.
own it.
He owns it. Yes, yes.
Okay, so is that
yeah.
how the jewelry thing works? You're
Yeah,
a designer.
yeah. No, he gave me the commission to do it, and I did the Protea as well. And
Strelitzia.
my last sister, she was with me when I started Salvina. She was with me for 3 years until she got married, and she used to sit next to me even when I was doing overtime until 11 o'clock. She used to fall asleep next to me just to keep me company.
Sure.
And she was actually a very qualified enameler, glass enamel practitioner.
Wow.
So she used to do the coloring of the Protea in glass,
Wow.
and birds, butterflies.
Okay.
Very,
you're talking
very
about, like,
unique
glass,
work.
Glass making?
No. It was all powder form and then
Powder form.
put into a kiln
Kiln,
to
okay.
melt and then smooth it out, redo it again several times. It's a process
So you have
that
to
takes,
color it basically.
to color different color, to blend different colors.
Yes, yes.
And all in powder form. So not something you paint on it.
Yes.
It was real glass.
Okay. Okay.
So in powder form with different
Almost like-
pigmentations.
And so it's a different color when you put it in on it.
Yeah,
Is it
it
rather
is.
than-
But also there were different layers of it, and they were transparent or semi-transparent, so you could actually see the gold behind it. So you have to take in consideration the undertones
Yes.
of the metal,
Yes.
and the end article would be something that it shows after 3 layers of different colors, color combinations and matching, and
Of course, because you look, it's like mixing colors.
mixing-
You're looking through it.
yes. So she was the only one in South Africa that I know. I think
Skills.
there is somebody else in Cape Town who still does it, but I don't know if she still does it. And unfortunately, didn't take off in South Africa
So it's gold with a glass.
with a glass over it,
Wow.
enamel, glass enamel. Yeah,
So that's a proper skill.
and she was my strength in those days because I couldn't afford to employ anybody for a couple of years.
Okay.
So I was alone.
Yeah.
And she used to help me whatever way she could.
Of course, your sister, Sorella.
Yes. So she had her own kiln, and I used to make things, rings and articles, pendants, and she used to do the enameling. And then she got married, and of course she gave it up because she went to the family way. And
Yes,
she moved to
okay.
Uitenhage, and it
Okay.
was just
The Hague.
not
Oh, you're sorry that
usable.
your sister didn't carry on with her, with
Yeah.
her artwork like
And
that.
she sadly passed away quite a long time ago
Okay. Okay. Was she quite
from
young?
illness. Yes, she was young.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
she was 60 something. 62.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a lifetime with a sister that, and I mean, you recognize that talent in her as well back then.
Yes.
You know, you can see
Yes.
that.
Now she worked for a big factory in Valencia.
Okay.
She was trained by a German enamel practitioner who used to be at Ilario, which is very big. He was a mayor for many years.
Okay. Okay.
And that's where she learned the trade.
Okay.
And unfortunately wasn't taken well here, wasn't appreciated.
Yeah. It's a different
from,
kind of
from
skill.
the jury, different kind of skill.
once
Because
you-
also because they never seen it here before.
Of course. You look at it and think, wow, it's beautiful, but you don't know what goes into it.
Yeah.
And isn't that part of that's part of the thing of jewelry? I'm sure with jewelry and with art and anything, it's what goes into it. If you know what goes into something, then the appreciation becomes so much more.
Yes, I think people don't realize how much handwork is in making jewelry, because let's face it, 99% of the jewelry is made by the lost wax process, which is cast, like you cast an engine.
Yeah.
So, and these days they go even further. The jewelry items are printed by computer. With you design it by CAD and you print it. Yes, you got to have the skill to do it.
Yeah.
But unless you were a bench worker on the bench, you don't really understand what's possible and what's not possible. And so when people say handmade, these days there is a bit of a controversy, because if it's CAD aided, then it's not really. But there's artistry in that as well.
Yes, of course.
So you can't just disregard it, because, as I said, 99% of the jewelry that's made today is made for commercial use.
Of course.
So it's made like that.
They need to scale it. They need to.
And then with the same printer, they can just print 100. The same one, and gets cast. Then it's got to be clean, got to be set, and that's what.
There's another. Lindy St. Bern there saying I joined late to see, but I'm not sure he's spoken about this. But what's your opinion on lab-grown diamonds?
That's a very good question,
Lindy. I would not like them at all, Lindy.
Lindy, I must tell you that lab-grown diamonds are diamonds, unfortunately.
Yes.
And only some very sophisticated machinery can tell the difference. So we can't tell the difference anymore because
wow.
with cubic zirconias, moissanites, synthetic spinels, there were dozens of imitations of diamonds, but you could see it and test it.
Yeah.
Now, even the most sophisticated machines that are available in the shops, they're not 100% always correct.
Yeah.
They are correct most of the times, but they sometimes come with the result needs further examination.
You know, this is so. We've been talking about AI.
Yes.
And artificial intelligence, and you know, as a musician, you write a song, you sit and write it yourself, and but then AI can create it in 20 seconds.
Yes,
a song. Isn't it the same thing? If you know that is a real diamond from the earth.
The issue is that those diamonds are valueless, practically. There are some companies in England who will give you, if you buy a 1 carat diamond, they give you 1 carat diamond lab grown for free. So the value, a lot of wholesalers who embarked into investing in selling synthetic diamonds, they've got big problems because with an inventory of $100 million, now worth $10 million. It's a big problem for the industry. We stick to natural diamonds, mined diamonds.
Yes.
And on request, we will get certified diamonds, lab grown, with a number inscripted on the edge of the diamond. So it can be identified and disclosed. It's up to the customer to disclose it if he wants to go to have it insured. And especially if the diamond is set in a full bezel or a tube, then it cannot be easily identified.
Because it's covering the
inscription.
Oh my word.
So it is complicated. It's something that we don't welcome at the moment. The future will tell the story, how it's going to end. But it's done a lot of harm to the jewelry industry, to the diamond dealers, especially the natural diamond dealers. And they had to embark on this because they had no choice. And unfortunately, they lost a lot of money because it keeps on decreasing in value.
Of course, of course. So, as a youngster, you buy an engagement ring. How do you tell the difference between the cheap jewelry sold at a high price and it's just Gary's asking a question here, and a good value for money? How do you know? How do you make that kind of decision? It's true.
Well, the answer is very simple.
What?
You go to a good jeweler. And there are plenty in town. There are plenty in town. There are some very good people in town who will not sell you one thing for another. But if you try to go to the back street or know of a cousin, a friend of a cousin of a cousin, or a friend of a friend, then you put yourself in jeopardy because it's only your own fault. So if you go, the competition is very tough. So nobody's making big money out of big diamonds. So you will get good value, doesn't matter where you go. You must go to the person you trust more and give you the confidence. And that's what I was saying earlier. Trust is something that you earn. So, you wouldn't go to the doctor to give you a vitamin injection and give you poison instead. How do you know? How do you know what's inside the syringe?
It's the trust.
It's the trust. So you know it's not going to give you poison. It's going to give you penicillin or whatever.
Every time I talk about this thing as well, is this artificial unintelligence. I was saying artificial unintelligence because my show was called that. Artificial intelligence is coming into social media. It can make a movie in 10 seconds.
Yes.
It can make it, and you just don't know what is true and what is not true, and it affects everything. It's your music. I'm thinking. I'm hoping that the world is going to go back into the village mentality, like you said, the Italian village, where there are a lot of people there that do a certain job.
Family businesses.
You will need to deal with it directly with that person. You know that if you go for your wedding ring or for your thing, you're getting a Francarlo product.
Yes.
And that is designed and made by Francarlo and by the designers in the shop.
Yes.
And you know that it is a certain quality.
Yes.
Because they are, the business, it knows what to look for and what work has gone into it.
Yes.
That's the only way we can do it.
Yeah.
I see Barbara say at the top, in the 70s, we had 3 top jewelers in town, Francarlo, Ritters, and
Salters. Well, I used to do a lot of work for Salters.
Really?
Yeah, there was the old man Ian Salters.
Yeah.
And Salters, the jewelers. Salters Jewelers was Max and Lorna Lipstrew used to have that.
Lipstrew. Okay.
The Lipstrews, yeah.
All right.
The same Lipstrews that own the motor car.
Yes, the motor car thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Barbara Manor knows them. She's a nostalgia freak. She loves it as well. She knows everybody and everything.
Yeah.
Yes. The wife of late Apple Manor as well. Used to play a lot of soccer. And then I see Philip Loebscher on as well. Let's have a look at some of these. The Gourlay family. What is the Gourlay family? Came out Gourlay, I don't know the Gourlays. And then I see Elmarie saying, I remember mom-in-law visiting BM Cotton often. What happened to BM Cotton?
BM Cotton, the Alan Simmons. He inherited the business from his father. His father reached the age of 100, I think.
Wow.
And he used to go to the shop. I've been driven to the shop until the age of 92. And about 20 or 30 years ago, they moved to Australia.
Oh,
they used to be at the bottom of Albany Road.
Albany Road.
The
BM
building
Cotton.
there on the BM Cotton building.
Yes.
It used to be quite a modern looking building.
At the time.
It's still there now.
Yes. Albany Road, bottom of Mount Road, Albany Road. I can't remember.
Albany Road.
Albany Road.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I remember the horse on that
that
building,
was
a little further down.
Yeah, that's further down.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember that.
But my business has been always family orientated.
Yeah.
My sister Jana, well, first of all, my wife Simone, she's a trained teacher.
So she was also Italian.
She's the daughter of Tony Tassan.
Okay.
Tony
wow.
Tassan. Yeah.
So you married your boss's daughter?
No.
Wasn't he the
Tassan was the builder.
Oh, the builder. Sorry. Yes. Sorry.
Yes. Don't get wrong.
Okay. Simone.
So it was with her support that now when my sister got married and
she moved on to Uitenhage, left you alone.
I employed a few people and Simone came on board and we worked together for many years.
You just employed people. I mean, how do you go to that? I mean, it's like, how do you take that risk?
Yeah, I know. But so I had Simone on my side and she was very good at what she was doing. And then we started a family and she worked, ran a family and looked after the kids. So
how many children? You got Tanya and
Tanya and Tony. Tony is been in UK now for over 20 years.
Wow, okay.
But going to the family business, my sister Jana, she was in Italy and she came back in 2005. She was in Italy for many years.
Okay.
and she joined me in the office.
Wow, 2005. That was already in Red Street then.
So that was in Westbourne Rd.
Westbourne Rd. Sorry. Westbourne Rd.
And she worked until I closed Walmer Park, and we moved to Walmer Park. We were there for 18 years, and we very grateful of Walmer Park giving us the opportunity to put us on the map, really, because then it was,
and
an
your
open view.
daughters then working.
And Tanya came
Tanya
over.
and Lesie.
Lesie came later, when only after he got engaged with Tanya.
Okay.
He was actually working for Ritters.
Oh, right.
And
as well.
Yeah.
My word.
And they met in Walmer Park, and the rest is history. And my daughter was actually a big part in the planning of the shop, which maybe you want to show.
Oh yes, there are some photos that we can have a look
because,
at.
Tanya took hundreds of pictures of Milan's top jewelers on the street level. And when I went to the that's the shop.
That's the shop there.
When I went to the architect with the photographs, they were spellbound because they never had requests like this.
Okay.
And so
you
we worked
that
well together. Yeah, Tanya had a lot of input, and I said to Tanya, "Look, I'm not going to venture into something so big if you're not coming down. You must tell me whether you're coming down or not." So I put a bit of pressure on her because she had a very, very nice career in Valencia.
Okay.
She was working in Valencia for wholesale jewelry firm, and they used to do a lot of traveling to the States, to the Arab states, to Switzerland.
Where the money is.
Yeah, all the shows, all the top shows, Vegas shows.
Sure.
And, excuse me, is the wine.
Yeah.
And,
cheers to that.
So if it wasn't for Tanya, I would never have moved to Walmer Park.
But
so she put
connections back in Valencia. Valencia. Did you have connections back there? So she went back.
But she actually found her own way, because I told my friends to look after her and put her to the right direction. Okay. But she worked hard. She had 2 jobs in Valencia to make it, and she was very hardworking. And she came back here because I asked her whether she wanted to be back or not. And so I did pressure her.
Come, I'm getting old.
And I'm sure she's happy about that, because otherwise she would have never met Les.
Exactly.
So so it was meant to be. And she put Francarlo, the business, onto a different level, because with social media, and she handled all those things that I didn't want to handle.
Yes.
So we never had really confrontation in the business. We worked very well together, because I was looking after the manufacturing side, and she was looking after the other side. And I was looking after my clients, and she was looking after her clients. She also had her own clients, and I was following her own friends. And I was supported back by my sister, Jana, and my wife, obviously, although she wasn't in the business anymore, because she ran, she was managing the business. I had a branch at the bridge for quite a few years. Okay. And my wife took over the management of that when John Bosworth left. Okay. And so she was instrumental. She had 2 branches, But it didn't work out that well, because without my presence, people expected me to be in 2 places at the same time. So although it was run very efficiently, it didn't work out. The expenses were double, but not the income.
Of course, yes, like because also the rental is high.
The rental is high.
Very high.
So,
and
and that's the reason why I moved out. Well, I actually closed Walmer Park because it was time to renew the lease. And looking forward with the escalation of the lease, we found it that, I found it that I was turning 75 and didn't want to take a long-term lease.
Yeah, of course.
At that age.
But also in the shopping centre, the shopping centres have changed.
No, we're very happy with Walmer Park.
Walmer Park is probably the best.
We're very happy, and as I said, we're grateful that we were given the opportunity to be there. But Tanya and Lesie have a different vision, more modern, going back to the roots. We're on a street level,
yes,
with a small boutique shop.
Main Road Walmer.
Main Road on the corner of 13th Avenue and Main Road.
It's my hunting ground there.
Is your hunting ground? Yeah.
I grew up there.
So they're doing well, and they are happy. They didn't want the 7 days a week, 364 days a year business because they have different values. Their values and the family values, which in those days when I opened up the business, we had in Walmer Park, we had the option not to work on Sundays and public holidays.
Okay.
And then with the event of Bay West, open 7 days a week, we were forced to be open
work 7 days a week.
And the staff were not very happy.
Yeah.
So we gave them extra days, but they were not employed for 7 days a week.
Okay.
So they had a point.
Yes.
So if they were employed for 7 days a week, then they knew what the story was. So we made it easier for them with extra days. And as I said, I couldn't have done this by myself without my staff. I had wonderful staff, Monine Bola, for instance, 34 years. Monine, thank you very much again. 34 years. She was my working wife.
Yes.
And we have a big respect, great respect for each other. She actually moved to East London.
She was really the face of the.
She was the front face. Yes,
you remember? I used to come there in the 1990s in Westbourne Rd. I used to go up and down on my rollerblades, and I still remember this earring here.
Yes,
I got this earring done. I think next door at the chemist.
The earring,
the earring from you guys.
But I had wonderful people. As I said, I had people working for 30 years or more.
Yeah.
Also, Edna Fick was there for many years. We still have Nadia working for us, for Tanya.
Yeah.
Because Tanya and her husband, they took the name of the business and the business, but it's their business. It's not my business anymore.
Yeah.
So they took over the reins.
So
I go to
retired,
work. So I go to the shop where I want to.
Yeah.
If I want to.
If you
for
want
a few hours.
to chat
4
to
days
some
a
of the
week.
clients.
Also, yes, because some people still want to see me.
Yes, of
and
course.
that's that relationship over the years.
Yeah.
And I'm there to support. And if they want advice,
For those
I'm there for them.
clients.
For those difficult situations or
Yes.
particular situations.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. There's a question over here. Let's have a look. Philip has got. Are the most famous clients that you've ever worked with? Have you worked with any famous people?
Yes, we do, but we won't mention names.
We don't.
No. We are like priests in a confessional.
Sorry, Gary.
Whatever happens there stays there in those 4 walls. So it's part of the business. You don't.
We were talking beforehand about the fact that you've got to be very I wouldn't say discreet, but you've got to be very sensitive to your clients.
Yes. We got to respect our clients.
So no discussions about religion, about
No
what's
politics.
Politics.
No. Got to have complete neutral. To be
Yes.
completely neutral. It's none of our business what your sex tendencies are, or what your religion is,
Yes.
or political affiliation.
Yeah.
We don't deal
It's
with
all
that.
good.
We deal with jewelry,
Yes.
and that's all.
It's also a higher, what do you call it? Higher LSM clients, a higher wealth client.
Yes,
That you're working
yes,
with a lot of the time.
yes. And they want their privacy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to them to show off to say, "Oh, I got this from Francarlo," but that doesn't come from us.
But it would help you if the people knew.
No, yes. No, we welcome that, but we're not the ones to publicize it.
So you got to hope that they will.
In fact, when we make something very special,
Yes.
and we take a photograph, we ask permission if we can put it on the internet, on
yes, of
Facebook,
course.
because it's their property. It's not ours. We designed it
If they do a commission.
according to their wishes and what they want. So it's their design, although we do the design, but it's theirs,
So
because they pay.
you cost it in.
Well,
They got to pay
it's
for
theirs. Yeah, they got to pay for the article.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's theirs.
Yes.
So we ask permission
Okay.
if we can.
And do you still
100%.
make the molds and thing if you get commissioned to do this sort of thing?
Not anymore.
Not that sort of thing.
No. I think my eyes have gone a bit down, and the hand is not as steady.
Of course.
So I do get involved when necessary,
Okay.
but not.
And do the designers
as
there?
much.
Have you got designers there? As
Well, Lesie, Tanya, and the staff, they're very good. Well, Lesie is excellent.
Oh, is she good?
Yeah.
Oh, because she's been studying.
No,
Italy as well.
Les.
Oh,
Not
Les.
Tanya.
Oh, okay.
Tanya is also a designer. She did designing at the same school that I went to in
Yes,
Valencia.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's very good.
Good as well.
And Les, he's permanently in the shop where Tanya comes and goes.
Okay.
And so Les does most of the designing, and he's very good with his drawings.
Okay.
Very good. And people are very happy with him.
Yeah.
And he's a very
Amicable. Okay.
sort of guy.
So it says here, how do you see the future of Francarlo International evolving in the next generation?
Well,
The
I
next
find
generation that they have.
I find it very positive because, with the technology of these days and the internet and social media, it can only go forward. And they're very good at what they're doing. Well, I say we, but the next generation has taken a different approach, which I think it's wonderful because, it's not always the same to do like it used to be done. It doesn't have to be done that way. Because it was done for 50 years, and must do it again the same way.
Yeah.
So the new modern approach that they have can only make them go forward. And I feel very confident because Les and Tanya are very confident, very capable people. And they will take the name forward for, I don't know, for a very long,
I'm sure.
for their lifetime for sure.
It relies so much on the relationships.
Yes, and they're very good at that.
Yeah.
They're both Les and Tanya, they're very good in relationships.
Yeah. Well, and so are you.
Well,
years.
I always enjoyed the fact that I could have a relationship with somebody sitting across the counter, across the desk. And the challenge was really to understand what the customer wants and to interpret what they want. Yeah. Because people, especially now, they look at Pinterest and this and that and the other, and they come with these fancy ideas, and they inherited a diamond from the granny, and or a pearl or a stone, gemstone, and they've got all these ideas.
Yeah.
And it's so you get it's easier now. In fact, sometimes I curse Pinterest because they give these crazy ideas. But
Yes.
it's easier for us to understand what goes through the customer's mind.
Yes. Yes.
And then we put it on paper there and then.
yeah.
So this is an advantage from a CAD designer. A CAD design can take an hour and a half to do it. We're here, we sketch it in front of you quickly.
Yeah.
And then if you, really just a rough sketch.
Yeah.
And then we do the proper drawing later,
course, yeah.
depending on what your tendencies are. If you like a
Yes.
3-stone ring or 2-stone ring or single stone ring
Yeah.
or multi-stones with diamonds on the sides
Yeah.
or whatever. There are so many variations.
Yes.
So we get a feel of what the customer wants, and we put in a perspective on paper
Yeah.
of what it can look like. And then when they make the final choice, then we do a proper drawing and possibly even all 3 dimensions, a
Yeah.
top view, sub view, and profile.
Yeah.
So the customer sees exactly what they're going to get.
3D rendering. Yeah.
Well, but on
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah,
It's
of
not
course,
on
yeah.
computer.
Yes.
The 3D rendering on computer is wonderful.
Oh yeah.
It makes it look 200% perfect.
Yeah. Of course.
But
yeah.
the result is not
Yeah.
always that.
Yeah. Sure.
And that is
sure.
one of the downfalls of, you see your ring this size on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's all
Yeah.
sparkly and all that, and then
Wow,
when you get it, it's the
like
little
a
ring
little
like that, and so you can't see the diamonds.
Yeah.
So
No, I remember. I mean, I did my ring with you guys, and I wanted the 3 different golds.
Yes, yes.
Actually, it's 2 and a platinum in the middle.
Yes.
And I wanted in the future my kids,
Yes.
to weave over it. And so it was like and you guys did such a marvelous job. with this
thank
ring.
you.
I still fiddle with it every single show.
I can see. It's a good advert.
I advertise all the time. It's this little ring, and it's got 3 different golds in it.
Oh, that's the
You can
camera, I
see.
see.
There you go. There. And it's got a little like a rope that goes in between. I can't remember the girl's name that actually did it. It might have been Haley. I don't know. I think it was there, but I remember your wife's little gold beetle standing in in Westbourne Rd.
Yes, I used to drive that
Oh, a lovely little
for
car.
many years. Yes, I used to rev it up. I thought I was in Monza or some place like that.
Of course.
I was a lot younger then. So
My brother Marco always says, if you're riding and you call the turns chicanes, you're driving too fast. Michela says, Chiesa says, bravissimo Francarlo, kisses baci.
Michela,
Baci
cheers.
from Italy.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Where is the camera? Is it that one?
Oh, it's whichever one you look at.
Well,
At the
is it
moment,
this
it's that
one?
one there, yes.
That one.
Talita Bash says, hello Carlo, my favorite
Ciao.
jewelry supplier and designer.
Talitha.
Talitha.
Hello, Talitha. Nice for you to come into the show.
A wonderful family success story, a proud GQ business that offers personal and professional service from an exquisite design offering.
Thank you, Talitha.
You should be the marketing manager. Talitha.
Yes. Well, she's a wonderful person. Thank you, Talitha.
lovely,
Thank you
yeah.
for the recognition.
And I see Janine Zeal saying best jewelers in GQ.
Oh, wonderful.
It's
Thank
a lovely
you.
photo there, Janine.
Thank you,
as well.
Janine. Thank you.
She says, ciao.
Oh,
ciao.
Patsy. Yes. Hello, Patsy.
Patsy.
I didn't know you were following this.
No, we've got lots of people online.
She's my neighbor across the road.
Oh, lovely. Are you also here in Walmer somewhere?
No, we're in Summerstrand.
Oh, Summerstrand. Oh, Summerstrand.
No,
they
we
look
are-
down on us.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Michaela says, ciao.
Ciao, Michaela. Ciao.
And,
Design go wrong.
you say?
Have you ever had a design?
Oh, yeah. Have you ever had a design go wrong?
Go
You
wrong.
think something that goes wrong? You know, those are the
Well-
big stories.
Well, in 53 years.
Yeah. 53 years. Yeah.
In 55 years,
Yeah.
you're bound to have something going
Yeah, of
wrong.
course you are. Of course.
But
Those are the best stories.
yeah, but luckily I don't remember it because the brain only remembers the good things. But when something goes wrong, is usually that's why I had my hand on it until the last day.
Yeah. Okay.
So I inspect, even if I didn't do it myself all the way, because I used to do a lot of the setting until I actually closed.
Yeah.
And I check the work every stage that it goes through.
Okay.
So if something is not right, then we restart again.
Okay. Wow.
So we don't finish the whole thing and say, sorry, it was a flop.
Yeah.
And we had actually somebody from Australia who didn't actually see the ring, but see a photograph. And of course, he saw a picture on Pinterest, but big, with the sharp, razor sharp definition.
Yes.
And of course, our little camera, can't give the definition.
Yeah, of course.
So it was challenging, but when his mother came to collect it, and we sent it to him to Australia, and he was so happy with it.
Oh, great. Okay.
So it never went wrong.
Yeah. It's normally things that are out of your control that go wrong, though. I know as a musician,
yes,
it's either the weather, or there's no lights, or there's no bad sound, or there's
something goes wrong. Well, we had, for instance, we rely on the customers to tell us the truth.
Yeah.
Now we had a situation many years ago where a customer gave us a diamond ring to repair, but didn't tell us that the green diamond wasn't a natural green.
Oh, okay.
And that was a problem. So when we put heat in it, there was a slight color change. So I was devastated. So I approached the customer and I said, have you got a certification that this diamond is naturally green?
Yeah.
So she says, no, it wasn't a naturally green. So I says, why didn't you tell us?
Yeah, because
we wouldn't have touched it.
Yeah.
You see?
Okay.
So when things go wrong, it's not always because of us.
Yeah, of course.
But because we catch the wrong design or the wrong thing before we finish it.
Yeah, of course, because you're doing it.
Because by the time it's finished, then it must be right.
Yeah.
That's why the one reason of my success is because I'm pedantic.
Yeah. And I was going to ask if you're an OCD.
Well, in a way, yes, because it must be.
Yeah.
and unfortunately, that reflects on my oil painting, and I go to classes.
Do you go to oil painting?
Yes, for the past 11 years, once a week.
Fantastic.
And because I'm so pedantic about things like that, and first of all, it takes me ages to finish a painting. And but I've got a wonderful teacher.
Who's your teacher?
I know I can't say.
No, you can say. She was advertised.
No. I don't think she would like me to say her name. It's a five of us in the class, and she gives personal attention. No, she's very understanding and very straight. If it's not right, she'll tell you.
Okay.
Straight.
There's a
So that's why I go there, because I want to learn.
Once a week for 11 years.
Yes.
And you go every week.
Every week. Well, not in December.
Yes.
And not. There are certain periods that I think
Holiday
until
periods.
February. Yeah, from December and January we don't go, and then some other, if she goes away on holiday.
So is that that's another passion that you have?
I thought it would be not easier, but a way to escape from the minute work where you work with 1/10 of a millimeter.
Okay, so you look at big quas.
But it's difficult for me to do that. So she tells me, go mad, do what you want. And I can't do it.
You find it very difficult.
So she has a lot of patience with me.
Is there anything else that you're interested in? Did you ever get into sport or anything like that? I mean,
Sport, well, funny enough, you might laugh,
yeah.
but in Italy I was playing basketball.
Oh,
Because in Italy, at my generation,
yeah.
my height, which
Yeah.
is short,
Yes.
is standard there. It's not, if you're 2 meter,
Yeah.
you look at people like that. So to be 1.7 meters in those days, I'm no longer 1.7, but I was okay for a basketball player.
Very good.
So I did that for many years. I actually played in a provincial team.
Okay.
And then when I came here, of course, there was no basketball, no basketball, and I didn't have time anyway.
And it's
because
all
I started
tall
my business.
Dutch people here.
Yeah, so and there was some Chinese people playing basketball
Okay,
with the
right.
Feather Market Hall. There used to be basketball
Oh, the feather market. Okay.
at the Feather Market before they changed it into what it is now.
Yes. Okay.
And soccer, I did play soccer also, but only at municipal level. We had our jerseys and our shorts and our shoes, but it
Do you have a
wasn't
club?
really
Or
so.
no, the club.
No, it was the municipal. It wasn't nothing
Barbara-
too serious.
Barbara was into the soccer. Barbara Manor, she's the soccer.
Oh, okay.
the soccer one.
No.
Let's have a look here. See,
And-
every time I walk into what,
Wrong Judas, talking about
every time I walk into Fishers at the boardwalk, it's your friend Francarlo. Liz was always drawing, designing something. He was dedicated in designing more than selling.
his son-in-law, Lesie.
Yes, Lesie. So that's your son-in-law there.
Ah, yes.
And pleased to hear that he's still drawing and designing jewelry as well.
Yes, brilliant. Yeah, he's very good. Like I said.
So was he with Fishers originally?
The Gina. Ciao,
Gino
Gina.
Daniels, so
Yes.
proud of
Thank
Zio
you.
Carlo. The Zio Carlo. And Rhea Thorne is Rhea Tom.
That's Simone's aunt.
Oh, lovely. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. That's also Zia.
Zia,
Ria.
yeah.
Talita Carlo is
I'm
rocking
rocking
it. Absolutely. You know, he was so scared to come on the thing. He was worried about the video. You know, people are.
I wasn't
people
prepared for this, actually.
I said I didn't tell him it was gonna. He thought it was gonna be audio only.
Yes, so I come here and there's all these cameras, got about 3-4 cameras, surrounded by cameras.
I'm so glad you did come. And oh man, Gino says you're totally, absolutely Gino.
Yes. And so, where were we?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I just think like with your daughter taking over the business now, Lesie there as well. Everything's going forward, and it's time for you to relax and enjoy some hobbies and things as well.
Yes,
some other
yes.
stuff that you're doing.
Yes.
So a bit of painting, I love that. You know?
Yes. No, I enjoy it. And I always wanted to do something away from jewelry. And the natural thing I thought it would be to go into, because went to drawing first and then watercolor, and only the end in the last
Your
few
drawing
years.
must be good as well, because if you've been.
Well, I
doing
thought it
design.
was. I thought until you get to the real artist perspective, it's not that easy.
No.
It's not that easy. I can draw
Yeah.
jewelry. I think I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But to draw something else, it's a different perspective.
But it's also it's like it's like you say, perspective, but it is perspective and it's size.
Yes.
And the way you look at something.
What I find that is the same in a way. There's nothing between me and the canvas or me and the paper.
Yeah.
So there's just my soul and my eyes and my hands, and my hands want to follow my soul and not my eyes. And
But that's okay.
and that's difficult to connect, because it's what you see that you must paint, not what you feel. But it's your feeling that makes a difference to the painting.
Yes.
So it's a balance. Like today, I was battling with something because today's Tuesday. So I went to class today, and I didn't connect with the painting the way I was supposed to.
Yeah.
And my teacher said, "Look, you're not doing it right." And I'm so grateful that she told me that, because I corrected myself and I could then feel the painting more.
Yes.
So it's, the artist must feel, not just paint or draw, must feel what. So that's the connection that I'm looking for. And that connection is easy for me in jewelry. Because I did it for 55 years.
Yes.
So if I didn't connect by now, then I never will.
You're so right.
So
you're so right.
So
it's that's what art is about, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, it's about connecting your feelings. The more you can connect the raw feelings with the paper, or the
art,
canvas,
or the
or
canvas,
the art, or the music, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or the
the
jewelry,
statue, or
because your craft, your work is art.
yes,
Absolutely art.
Yes.
That bit of jewelry has so much meaning to the person that you give it
Look,
to.
there's a lot of ugly art.
Yeah.
And ugly jewelry.
Ugly jewelry.
You know, not everything that, for instance, not everything that I made would have been something that I would have chose.
Yes.
To put. So I would have chosen to put in my stock.
Yeah.
However, I've always been there for my customer.
Mm-hmm.
So if the customer wanted something, I could personify that to their liking, and making it as pleasant or as looking as good as possible. With their idea, because I must respect that if you want something for three diamonds and you want it a certain way, I don't want to change your mind. Because you're going to be a dissatisfied customer when you walk away with something you didn't want.
But also you got to have that fight between that what the customer wants and what you also.
So I can advise the customer and say, this will not work. But this will work better if you like it like this. So we give different options in the direction of what they like. And I find it difficult if I don't sit across the person, across the table with a person. I find it difficult when people commission from Johannesburg or from overseas, because there's not that personal interaction. So when somebody says, I want something that is wide because my fingers are long, but I don't want to distract from my diamond, which is small. So now you can't quickly draw something, and so I draw maybe 10 little sketches and say, what is your tendency? Where you going? And we still get it right, but I much prefer if somebody's across the table. I say, look, this is it. This can work. This doesn't work.
You don't even have to draw it. You can explain it.
Or sketch it quickly and very roughly. And then the customer can see whether it's good or not.
There's some photos there. Is that you?
That's me. Yes, that's me. Where does it come from? That must be Tanya.
What are you
Gino.
making there? Tanya sent that in, I'm sure.
I'm cutting a piece of gold.
Oh, lovely. Look at that. Are those your special goggles that you wear?
The goggles, yeah.
Very fashionable,
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, there. Who's that there? That's you.
Mr. PE.
Oh, Mr. PE. That was the Mr. the burger, Mr. PE, wasn't it? I seem to remember. So you honestly got something. Oh, there's your.
And that's when Tanya joined.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
daughter.
my hair wasn't grey yet.
Yeah, I see that. And your daughter's so beautiful.
Look at me.
There we go.
When I came to this country, I didn't have a beard, and I grew a beard.
So there was you there. On
Yeah,
the left.
on the left. Yeah,
goodness.
that's my dad, my sister Salvina,
in
my
the front.
mother in the middle, and Jana, who worked with me until I closed.
And very nice there. Look at the plant in the back as well, and the ferns.
Yes.
Was that at the shop as well?
And that's about 7 years ago. That's my son, the tall one.
There we go.
Simon is in the middle.
He's
Yeah.
in England now. Okay.
And that's his son.
Yeah. Okay.
Leo.
Yes, little one.
And Mila is
Mila
right
in
in front and top
Tanya?
with Simon sitting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's Luca on my right, and Les, and little Daniela, Tanya, little Daniela
Okay.
at the bottom there
Daniela.
on the left.
Did you show your grandchildren? So the little grandchildren as well. You nono.
Nono, yes.
You
For
are-
them, I'm Nono.
You are the nono now.
I'm the Nono.
You know, I cannot wait until I'm a nono.
Yeah.
cannot
Well, when Tanya got married,
Yeah.
I said to her, "Listen, I'm getting old, and there's
Hurry
no
up,
pressure. No pressure. I give you 2 years, and I want to be a Nono." Tanya, do you remember that? No pressure.
No pressure. You just you got 2 years, my girl. Proper. Oh, that's
And she delivered.
I know, good. Well done. We're going
Well
to
done.
put out the baby factory going. Let's see if there's any other photos over here.
Luca came
Anything
around.
else? Oh no, nothing. No. But I mean, the shop, an integral part of Port Elizabeth, of Gqeberha, and all the way from Main Street through to Westbourne Road, where I remember it. Amazing memories of that time. I was on my rollerblades going up and down.
Yes.
Got my
yes.
wedding ring there as
Yes.
well. I'm sure there's so many people that have got the same story.
Yes.
And this precious thing that you've got on you, maybe just one item, 2 items that you have, that you guys have made, and it's a work of art.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's meant to be. We take a lot of pride in what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we will not deliver unless it's up to our standards.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
a promise.
I know that there was a story we spoke about before we went on air about Bocce, the Italian
Yes,
club.
yes.
The Italian club, a very nice Italian club. Everybody used to go there. The Italians
Yes.
used to go, and Bocce was a big thing. And you made
It's
a trophy.
bowls. I actually made
Bowls.
a trophy in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Giorgio Casali was the Italian consul in Port Elizabeth. He was involved with the wool board, and he wanted to sponsor a trophy for the bocce, the bowling,
Bocce, yes, yes.
the bowling club,
Yeah.
the Italian bowling club. So Mr. Fomento, the old man Fomento,
Yes,
he
yes.
made the cabinet with a little stand inside,
Lovely.
and I made the little man about that size with throwing a ball, and I donated the 18 karat gold ball, about 30 millimeters
Jeez,
ball in 18
That's a
karat
big gold,
yellow gold
bloody
that I made
18
when
karat.
I was the little man was in silver.
Yeah.
It was a very stylized outline. It's a pity I don't have a picture of it.
Yeah.
I was given short notice. And another thing that I made that I'm very proud of, Giorgio Casali again commissioned me to make replicas of the mohair trophy. It was about this high,
Wow.
and I had to make 3 of
That's
them.
like almost a meter.
The wooden part was that size.
Okay, good.
Mr. Fomento again did it for me. And then the trophy was about that high.
Wow.
So in total was that high.
Incredible.
The gold trophy was about this small. And of course they couldn't give it to the farmer. So they commissioned 3 of those made in silver. So I made the replicas in silver, and I made the the mohair goats in silver
Beautiful.
to put all over the place.
So it was a goat.
Yeah,
what
it was a cylinder
Yeah.
with half a cylinder with a cylinder base, and goats all over the place.
Okay,
with
on the,
silver wires holding the goats. It was beautiful.
lovely,
it was beautiful.
lovely. And then the butcher one got stolen, I believe.
The little gold ball was stolen somewhere, I think in Durban. I'm not sure exactly
my
where.
word.
They remade it, but it's
You know,
not in
plastic,
gold. Yeah,
something.
something.
No. Francarlo, been absolute
Thank
pleasure.
you so much. I
to
just
have you
looked at the
online.
time. I can't believe.
I know.
I can't believe the
We've
time.
nearly been 2 hours here.
Well, you made it so easy, like you said. And I want to thank all the listeners, all the viewers,
Yes, all the viewers.
for putting up with me.
Well, you know,
for
this
all
is-
this time.
This is here, a little stick in the ground for your
And
for,
as
for
I
the
said,
no-no.
as I said, I couldn't do it without my staff and without my supporters. So my supporters, thank you very much
Fantastic.
for being with me for so long. It's been 55 years of absolute pleasure.
55 years. Unbelievable. Let's have a quick look at some of the comments that came in there towards the end here. I see sent it in. Tanya sent a picture. You can have a look on my on the.
We've had them all.
Oh, okay, we had those. Okay. And thank you. Tanya says thank you, Gino. And I sent in some of the pictures. Yes, we got them. And and you delivered as well. She says absolutely.
Yes, you did. You did,
Leslie
Tanya.
Berg says Tanya, your dad is a natural. I think so too. I think he's been fantastic online. You know, we have real people here in B. We haven't got fake people here in B.
Yeah,
We've got
thank
proper.
you. Thank you very much.
Brian Wilkinson, very
Okay.
interesting. Thank you very much, Brian. You're a legend as well. And thank you for everyone
Yeah,
for
thank
joining
you
us.
for joining us.
It's of Mohes. She's sending another one. She's sending another one here. I hope it's coming to me. I don't know. It might be coming to Gary. From Gary. I don't know. If Tanya's
But
got
I
my
think
number there.
we must close
She
off.
can send it out. I've got but we'll put them in. We'll put it in the comments. Thank you, Elmarie. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you to our sponsors, to Fitch and Leeds, and to Amobia, of course, and to Fat Cats, and thank you to you.
And I want to thank my family because they've been putting up with my nonsense for all this time. And my wife especially, who I love very much.
Simone,
And Simone, and I don't know if she's watching.
I'm sure she.
This to you, love.
She'll be able to see it because it stays on. It stays on,
Stays
now
on,
forever
yes.
and ever.
Oh, okay.
Forever and
Ever.
what do they say? Forever and ever, be the one. That's it, Julio. Not Julio. It was Demis Roussos.
Oh, Demis Roussos. Oh, he wasn't Italian. He's not
he's
Italian.
Greek. No, he's Greek.
Yeah.
No, he's Greek. But the big kaftan.
Oh, yes,
Oh, you know.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
No, I'm very fond of Bocelli. Andrea Bocelli.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah,
Is that the
I
music you
Bocelli.
like? as well?
Yes, I like that music.
A bit of
Yeah.
opera. What-
But he's got a bit of everything. He does
Yeah.
pop as well.
He does. He does. Do you? What's your favorite band? Your favorite music?
Bocelli is definitely
Is it-
the one
is it
now.
up there?
In my younger days was Albano, Gianni Morandi, Celentano, Mina,
I said proper Italian music.
yeah, Peppino Di Capri, Domenico Modugno.
You.
Those were
Gee
the
whiz, that's some serious stuff.
some stuff. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us online as well. We can, you know what, we can give away a thing. If Philip has got it, we can give away some featured leads. I don't know if she can do it. She can't do it tonight. But thank you so much for joining
you.
us.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Francarlo, for coming on. And we'll see you next week. Next week, our next. You say? Oh, there's some more. Take a glass of wine. Oh, there we go. Okay, we can do it. We can do it. For those of you who are online, let's do a quick competition. We're going to put you through the ringer, and we're going to pick a winner for our Fitch and Leeds. Fitch and Leeds, a case,
Yes.
a case of Fitch and Leeds. We'll
Wonderful.
post it to you wherever you are. So let's have a quick look and see who's going to win. You're going to win tonight. Hopefully, it's we got a. There we go, Lindy de St. Bern.
Oh,
Lindy, well done.
congratulations.
You won the
Congratulations.
case of Fitch and Leeds tonight. Thank you,
Wonderful.
everybody, for joining us. It's been a
thank
fantastic
you.
evening. And yeah, we got a winner, Lindy. Thank you, man. and to the future with your
Tanya
daughter,
and
Tanya
Les.
and Les. Fantastic to another 50 years of
Yes, why not?
Francarlo.
Why not?
Fantastic. Okay.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Have a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.